Okay, so here we have a 2004 Ford Explorer, and it's being worked on before. This is from an automotive shop, and the customer complaint was that all of a sudden got to a stop and the vehicle won't go. And they took the vehicle in and checked it out, and it had a throttle actuator code. They've replaced it 3 times. The second time the code came back immediately, and they bought the part from Ford, so Ford gave him the 3rd replacement part, and they still coming up with the same code. Now let's go ahead and look at the code and see if it's a throttle actuator circuit or malfunction code, or if it's going to be something else. Okay, I got the wrong key here. Let's see, it's P20. So it is a drivability issue. I am familiar with this code because there are just a number of things that could trigger this code. So the code that we have is 2106, TAC system force limited power. Now this does not mean that the TAC or throttle actuator control system is faulty. They've replaced this 3 times. This is the 3rd one, and they just decided, they called me if I could help them, and yes, I am going to help them. Now I am very familiar with the 2106, and one of the reasons is that on the transmission, when you lose front lubrication, front lube, the overdrive section melts, and it damages the turbine speed sensor, and you will get this poor performance code. So there's 3 things that can cause this. One is the EGR Sensor Module. It's a EGR. It has the EGR valve. It has a DPFE sensor, and it has a map sensor, all built into one module. If that fails, it is going to give you this trouble code, and also speed sensors. The speed sensors that are mounted on the transmission, and the speed sensors for the anti-lock braking system. And let's exit out of here, and I think we are in luck. This is going to be an easy fix. There is our service engine soon light, or check engine light, on, and we have the anti-lock braking system light on as well. Okay, so let's go back to the scan tool. Let's go ahead and exit from engine. Let's go to anti-lock brake systems, and let's see what we are going to find there. Let's go to codes menu. Let's go to memory codes. Let's press continue here. We are now communicating, and we have left rear speed sensor input circuit fault and right rear speed sensor input circuit fault. Now I was inspecting the vehicle underneath, for my speed sensor connections on the transmission, and they never been removed. They are connected. This is a 3-channel ABS system, so you had only one sensor in the rear and one sensor for each wheel on the front. Let's go ahead and gather more information here. Let's go to our engine again, and let's look at the freeze frame data. Let's go to generic functions. Let's go to, let's see here, freeze frame mode 2. This is going to give us an idea of what happened, when the default happened, how fast you were going, if the engine was cold or hot, or what was the engine load condition. Okay, so here we see we do have a throttle actuator control code. So the engine speed was 1548. Absolute throttle position was 20%, so they were not going too fast. Accelerator pedal was 31.8%. Time since starts, it was probably 17 minutes. It was in closed loop already. the ambient temperature sensor. It was fresh outside, 71 degrees. Engine coolant was at 120, so it was not at operating temperature yet. Ignition timing, we see the fuel trims here. Let's go to the other side. So we have same TAC, commanded equivalence ratio, intake air temperature 89 degrees, airflow, barometric pressure. We are at sea level, so it's at 30, so that means that our mass airflow sensor, it's functioning properly. Let's scroll up. Let's look at the speed. Let's see if I can find the speed here. Maybe I just missed it. Let's scroll up here. Here we go, 10 miles an hour. So you don't have to go that fast. It was 17 minutes on where's the time again? It records the time since engine start, 17 minutes or 17 seconds. It's got an S there. You see here, it's got an S, probably, I don't think it was 17 seconds, probably 17 minutes. But it was doing, they were going 10 miles an hour. So you don't need it driving that fast. So it's not an engine load issue, and it's probably not a transmission issue as well. And the reason is not because at 10 miles per hour you will barely shift into second gear. This is a 5-speed 5R55W transmission on this Explorer on an 04. So now that we've gathered all this information, so we got 10 miles an hour here. You were not going too fast, so I am inclining more to the rear ABS sensor. Now, as you see here, we had a code for each wheel, rear right, rear left, but they only use one speed sensor. Let's look at the code menu again, memory codes. Let's continue. You have one for the left and you have one for the rear, but there's only one sensor. If that one sensor is faulty, it's gonna throw both of them. Okay, let's go back here and let's go ahead and take a look at the sensor. We'll go ahead and pull it off and see what it looks like. Okay, so here's our old rear wheel speed sensor, and if you see here, that's a lot of metal. It looks like brass, maybe a brass washer or something. It's coming apart inside the differential. I went ahead and put a new one on it, and you see a little bit stuck in there. You had an intermittent issue. Now you see here that the throttle actuator, it's brand new. It's from Ford. It's been replaced. And this is the EGR Sensor Module that I was talking to you about. You have the EGR solenoid here. You have the 2 vacuum ports going into here. You have the DPFE sensor, which is also used as a map sensor. And the EGR valve itself, it's up underneath here. So this will cause the throttle actuator to go into force limited power. Your 3 speed sensors or any gear ratio error on your transmission will cause the same throttle actuator going to limited force power. And of course, like you see here, the rear ABS or the front ABS sensors will cause throttle actuator go into force limited power. Okay, so let's go back to the truck. Let's go ahead and clear all the codes and reset the keep alive memory. And after the test drive, scan it for codes again. If the code does not come back, this is a confirmed fix for this throttle actuator control going into force limited power. Okay, so we come back to the scan tool, and we're going to go to the menu, and we're going to reset keep alive memory. We're going to press, it says key on, engine off. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and reset our keep alive memory. Keep alive memory has been reset. This is going to erase all the adaptive tables on the engine, on the transmission, and he's going to just clear the memory out, and he's going to start from 0. The performance that it was given with the throttle actuator being into force limited power is going to be reset as well. But once you do that, the codes should clear because he just erased everything. So what we're going to do here, we're going to just make sure that our AC is turned off. The key, we have it on key on, engine off. We're going to go ahead and test our components here. Key on, engine off test. And this will check all of our circuits on the engine, any opens or shorts to ground or any malfunction on the circuits. Okay, P1000 OBD systems checks incomplete. There's no codes, there's no trouble in all of our connections. Now we're going to start the vehicle up, and we are going to perform a key on engine running test. Now this is going to check all of our sensors and actuators as well on the engine. If we have an issue with the EGR sensor module, it's going to come up here. So let's go ahead and start this test here. We are at operating temperature, so let's go ahead and continue and run engine at idle. Do not accelerate. Press continue. Okay, it says to press the brake and release. Press the overdrive button and release, and turn the steering wheel a little bit so you can have your power steering pressure switch tested as well, your brake switch and your overdrive cancel switch. So there we go. It's doing the key on engine running test right now. We are like at 1600 RPM, and right now it's checking all the sensors. The RPM drop is kind of misfiring. It's probably checking the injectors, turning them one by one and just looking for RPM drop. This is the key on engine running test, and this is just to make sure that you're not going to have an issue with any of your engine related components. And what we need to make sure that is working properly is our EGR sensor module. That is one of the things that will cause this 2106 trouble code to come up. Once everything passes the test here, then we are ready to just take it on the road. And if you saw on the freeze frame records, 10 miles an hour, that's all it took for the 2106 for that throttle actuator going to force limited power. So still running the test. We're like at 1700 RPM. Okay, engine idle is RPM is dropping, so it's probably almost finishing doing all the tests. This is an automated system test, key on engine running. Here we have the P1000. He found no faults. Okay, so let's go to pending codes, and there should be nothing there. It says no codes present. Let's go back and let's review our codes. So we see that pending codes, nothing. Key on engine running, P1000. That means that OBD2 systems are not completed yet, like the EGR, the O2 sensors, the catalyst. All those monitors have to be completed for the P1000 to go away. And once all the monitors are run and all the tests are passed, then you will have a P000. And that's what we're aiming for. And alright, so I guess we're ready for a long drive. I'll drive it, we'll scan it again and check it for codes, and if the codes don't come back, we have a confirmed test. Okay, so we are monitoring our speed. We're coming to a stop right now. These two on my left are the front speed sensors, and these two on my right is that one the speed sensor on the differential. It's a 3-channel ABS system, but we see that on the data screen it shows 2 parameters for one sensor. This is considered normal, but they should give you the same reading, both of them. The reading is coming from one sensor on the differential, and this is from the 2 front wheels. We are at 0 miles per hour. We have no glitches. I haven't seen anything out of the ordinary on the rear channel here. What I did notice, the differential is making a little bit of noise, and as you saw on the tip of the sensor and on the shop towel, there was a lot of metal contamination. So this is a bad news for this automotive shop. I'm going to go ahead and break him the bad news for it, and he needs to replace this differential. Otherwise, that sensor, it probably is going to get damaged. I'm assuming that with all that debris that was on the sensor, okay, here we're climbing up, we're doing 22 miles an hour, and if you see at the two signals at the front and the rear, they should match. The tires are kind of worn, so you're going to see something a little, maybe 1 mile per hour offset, but they are almost matching, maybe by a half a mile. But yeah, but with that being said, differential needs to come out, needs to be replaced. Okay, so what's our conclusion here? I already went and test drove it, and all of my signals are good. The code 2106 did not come back. It's not in forced or limited power mode. And what I want to get across to you right now is that I do have Mitchell on demand, and it also has it here on the repair information. I can go through here, but sometimes I'm too far away from my Wi-Fi signal that I can't get to it. So I mean, it's always a good idea to either to print out the what I did here. I search out the code first, and it gives you a diagnostic tree for you to follow, and it asks you following questions. You know, determine if you have like another controller issue, and where to start. And then once you start doing those testings, I mean, it's better for you just to go ahead and just read the whole diagnostic tree, and then from there you go to the vehicle, and you know, you look, like in our case we had the ABS light on, and service engine soon was also illuminated. So we had those two lights illuminated, and when you go through this diagnostic tree, first you start on the EGR Sensor Module and you check that. Then you go to your transmission, and you check that as well, all your 3 speed sensors. You're looking for gear ratio, error codes, speed, the sensor performance, like the turbine speed sensor. I see that a lot with this code, but we never follow the diagnostics of this code, because when we rebuild our transmission, I always put a turbine speed sensor when the overdrive section melts, because the tip of the sensor will melt a little bit, and it will give you an erroneous signal. So, and one thing that we do on all Fords is we always, after repair, we always reset our keep alive memory. Once you reset your keep alive memory, the reduced power mode will go away. Some other symptoms will go away. You will have new symptoms, since the PCM is going to start relearning. It relearns the transmission, and then it starts relearning all of your engine parameters as well, like your O2 sensors, EGR system, EVAP, all of that has to be relearned after you reset your keep alive memory. So the point that I want to make here is that you as a DIYer, you're probably not going to have access to Mitchell or all data, you know, the professional version that we use, that is only available to us. But what I've seen, if you go to your auto parts store, like maybe AutoZone or Riley's or Napa or whatever, they do have a little package that it's called All Data DIY. And you purchase a subscription just for the vehicle that you're working on, if it's your personal vehicle, and you will have that for 1 year. And that's pretty good, because you have all of these steps, you know, professional steps that we use. Even though I don't use all data, I use Mitchell on demand, but they're both the same, and they both have great information, great diagnostic trees, and you're going to have that professional knowledge and power to diagnose your personal vehicle. And they only allow you just that one vehicle. I mean, for a year, I can't remember how much it will cost, but that is a good alternative to you. So you can use a regular scan tool, just pull your codes out, you can retrieve your codes, you can go to your All Data DIY if you go purchase that. There's probably some other softwares out there that you can purchase, you know, for a DIYer, and follow the instructions that, you know, of the diagnostic tree, and you're there. Okay, well, with that being said, I think that's all for today. The truck is fixed, it's already gone, it's been delivered. They're talking to their customers to see if they're going to have to replace that differential on that truck. But that will cause, you see here, that would cause the 2106 troll code, and it's fixed. Okay, so don't forget to click the subscribe button and share it with everywhere. All right. Well, my name is Hiram, and thanks for watching.